really visual. Okay. 3, 2, 1, penguins, let's go! Hello everyone, welcome to Mindovermania. My name is Christian, and today we are doing another pick a card reading, where you get to choose the intuitive messages from Spirit for you. Today's topic is going to be, do I love them? So the reason why I'm recording this message is normally in the spiritual community, tarot reading community, there's a lot about checking out the energy and the vibes of other people, right? And while I do have a couple of those videos on my YouTube channel, I want to start bringing a lot of this intuitive messages back to self and helping you guys figuring out what's going on in your situation and helping you weed through some complicated emotions, thoughts, and feelings. Maybe you are feeling conflicted about this person. Maybe you've got an idea of who they are in your head, but you're not entirely sure how you feel about them. This is the message for you. This is the reading for you. We have 4 piles to choose from today. In order to select your pile, I want you to put both feet firmly on the ground, take a couple deep breaths, clear your mind's eye, and I want you to imagine this person. All right, get a feel for their energy, their vibes, really just soak up the image of that person in your mind. And then whenever you open your eyes, wherever your eyes are drawn to the most, that's going to be your pile of how you're thinking and feeling towards that person. If you don't mind, y'all, please like, subscribe, comment down below. And check out my website if you're interested in booking any personal readings from myself. Or check out the blog to see what kind of activities we got going on over here at Mindovermania. Without any further ado, I will see you at your pile. Take care. Hello everyone, you have chosen group number 1, and these are going to be your messages on what do I feel. Hello pile number 1, these are going to be messages on how do you feel about this person. Do you love this person? Sorry, I keep getting mixed up with the you versus I all the time. I don't know if it's affected the first. So a couple messages about what was going on while I was pulling your cards. First of all, I've got a big stack over here of that one deck in the far corner that matches this one. And literally while I was pulling the cards, I was noticing that the deck literally jumped. So I was like pulling cards and they literally just like kind of did it was almost like a jump start, I heard the word, or like a jump scare. So I don't know if this person kind of came out of the blue in your life or it was very sudden when you were like, oh, there's that hit, there's that feeling. And specifically too, I also wanted to pull a bunch more cards about your situation. However, I'm trying to keep these readings a little bit shorter than the hour-long readings I'd sometimes have in the past. So yeah, definitely make sure you book a reading if you want to learn more about your feelings for this person, because I think there's just a lot unsaid going on here. And I can't always tell if you can't always talk to this person, or it's something's just kind of like maybe you keep it close to your chest instead of just articulating it. But let's go ahead and see what card you got. You got intense. The intensity of a true soul connection includes highs and lows. Okay, so yeah, I think that would make sense with that jump starter. Like, again, I keep wanting to sit here and be like, what's going to happen next? Like, I keep feeling this anxiety that there's got to be something more to the story. And the way you're feeling, group number 1, is something about like a chapter's closed, but you're still feeling this person in your chest. You know, it's definitely in your heart space. And again, that intensity, maybe you guys had a very intense connection, or maybe things ended very suddenly, and you're trying to be like, there's something about your true soul calling is tied to this person. You know, there's something about your soul that's saying, hey, we weren't just nothing. And you feel very restless. Again, I feel like maybe for some of you guys, I can't move on, and you're trying to determine, like, is this, like, love? Is this just emotions? Is this trauma? But again, with the tense, like, I'm almost seeing, like, this tree kind of looks like a bomb going off, an atomic bomb, so I don't know if this person's in the military, or, again, this person kind of, like, caused a fiery explosion in your life, or there was kind of like a total war incident. But again, intense is definitely a really strong word to describe what's going on between you and this other person. Again, take what only resonates. If that did not resonate with you, this may not be the pile for you. And if so, stick around and see what is coming next. Okay, we've got illusion. Avoid the trap of mistaking fantasy for real soul connection. Reconciliation. Learn to reconcile with yourself. And admiration. It's time to think about everything you appreciate in your partner. Yeah, so there's something about this soul connection. Because it was really intense, you're having a difficult time processing it. And again, it just feels like that jump start where you're like, oh my gosh, it's like, I was thinking of the song Motley Crue wrote called Kickstart Your Heart, where it literally feels like it was like, whoa, like a rev of an engine. Specifically with admiration, I feel you really admire this person, and there's so much brightness from this person. There's something about, like, you might put this person on a pedestal, but I think you're a little more grounded than other piles I've read for in the past. Like, I feel like this person's light is showing you a trail of where to go in your life. So maybe, for example, they accomplish something that you really aspire to do yourself, or maybe there's someone that maybe triggered you to change your life circumstance. I don't know. There's just definitely an energy that with this person, regardless of them being in your life, it's kind of hard to get over them when they've been so transformative. And even when you're not thinking about them, the impact that this person had was just so tremendous. And it was tremendously positive. So I think that's why it's kind of like you feel shallow thinking about them a lot, but you're also like, it's kind of worth it because it brings me back to my center. I was also like, I'm feeling like I have a booger in my nose, or there's just something about my nose that's significant. So maybe, I don't know if you guys were like doing coke together, or like, I don't know, there's like some kind of just like this energy of like, there's something missing here. Okay, with reconciliation, I feel like spirit's kind of guiding you to kind of acknowledge what this person represents to you specifically. With the reconcile, I do feel like there is an element of this person that mirrors a version of you that maybe you never got the chance to do that. So, for example, with them lighting the way, it's almost like you gave up, but then by seeing someone else who's like you or is very similar to you, you think, oh, I've got that kind of confidence. Oh, hey, actually, I'm friends with that person. If I'm friends with them, then why aren't I doing the same things? You know? And that's where that admiration or admiration just continues to grow and build on itself, because the more in tune with yourself you are, the less you're relying on this person for admiration because you're admiring yourself now. And again, I think there's something about like the looking in the mirror. It's a reflection back to you, right? It's a reflection back to spirit that yes, this person's bright, but all of that energy is within you too, right? And you keep thinking like, I want to have what they have. I want to have it. I want to have this relationship. But like that having, you already do. You have that relationship with yourself though. And that's where you have to go within to realize, oh, that mirroring is mutual. So then you're not going to be as reliant and stubborn when it comes to the intensity of the ups and downs of this emotional connection. Or like something about like heart swings. You know what I mean? Because I feel like maybe you're a little bit moody. Or maybe this other person is, and so sometimes the intensity gets a little bit too much for you guys. But sexually, anger, all jealousy, like all of it, like it's just really intense. And I think a lot of that admiration kind of goes out the window whenever things are out of balance. And so that's why that reconciliation, it kind of swings back and forth, and like eventually you're going to kind of come to a pause, but right now you're clearing out all that extra karma. And so that's why it's kind of like, again, I see like a broom. We're like kind of slapping each other upside the head. With illusion, I feel like you guys, I need to tell you that you're not being disillusioned about that. Again, this isn't about the other person, but I do feel like the illusions that you cast inside of yourself, you put a little bubble around yourself to protect your mind and your heart space. But there's something about an illusion that, like, inside of you, this is what's going on. Okay? And you needed this person to see, oh, hey, it's like there's the light from over there. You're thinking I gotta go out here on this big epic journey when it's all right here. You know, and I get it. Everyone says, like, look inside of yourself. What does that even mean? And part of it, I mean, a very easy exercise you can do is imagine this person, that feeling in your heart space, And place your hands over your chest and then just imagine yourself feeling inside of your heart while that's happening. And take a couple deep breaths. And try to pinpoint where inside of your heart that's coming from. And try to recall the last time you felt that emotion. And there's something kind of scary about getting over this fantasy that you're not like this person. Okay? Like, there's something about the fact that the illusion that's going on here is in the admiration. Because you also project a lot of your ideals onto this person. Because again, maybe you've known this person only for a short time, maybe you've only seen an image of them. And I'm not saying this isn't a great person, but that intensity has to slow down in order for you to realign to be with your partner. Okay? Because they're also kind of swinging around too, and you can't get a stable relationship when there's too much of this drama and intensity. She's never going to take your place. No one else ever will again. Oh. Yeah, maybe there was like a heartbreak that was going on and you guys, there's something about like she's never going away. So I don't know if this is about, okay, yeah, this is about your heart space, okay? But it feels like with the she's never going away, that's like you towards yourself with this illusion. Okay? And with like loving this other person, I feel like you're annoyed because you're like, okay, my person's with another person and I'm not seeing them break up. I'm not seeing them come towards me. And then it's like, take your place, or something about like, take me to your place, where you're kind of just like, why isn't he choosing me? Or why isn't she choosing me? Why is she with someone else? And this is the energy you have to let go of to really understand your love for this person. Because again, there's the admiration. Like, you want to adore someone. But something about like a door is significant because you've already crossed the door to the other side. And that's where the reconciliation with yourself is, when you realize who this person actually is to you, and that the she's never going, that thing you're chasing out externally, it's an illusion. Like, it's kind of been a long, intense battle. And again, you keep thinking like, well, when's the conclusion? You said I'm gonna meet my partner and we're gonna be fine. It's like, I didn't say it was this person. Okay? And then again, there's just something about, there's like a divine feminine energy that's really gonna calm your frequency down. You have to go slow. You have to be soft and gentle with this energy. Look at this tree with the cherry blossoms. She's blooming. Okay? And then that same tree's over here too. And then it's also pink. Like, look at all this pink energy. It's soft, it's nurturing, it's not forceful, it's just existing. And I think when you just let your heart be and let it bloom on its own, enjoy the intense experience that you had with this person. Enjoy the yearning and the loving. But the yearning is for this illusion. Okay? So sit in your own illusion of what's actually real. Because what's real is divine and divinely guided for you. If I was that shallow, I wouldn't still be around. Yeah, I feel like you're trying to prove to yourself that you're not an asshole for caring about this person still. With reconciliation, again, that's more of that energy of you towards yourself, where you're like, I'm a follower of this person. My heart aches. But there's something about like the she's never going. You have to reconcile with yourself that it doesn't matter what this person did to you, pile number one. They're not going anywhere in your heart. But that doesn't mean you have a connection with them currently. And I can't tell you where your connection's going in the future. That's up to you in spirit, because everyone's kind of got their own energy. But specifically about like, since you love them, I wouldn't still be around. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you're lingering, because you love them. You're trying to fight it. You're trying to be like, I can intense my way out of this. No. No, you can't. Smooth, soft energy. Slowing down. Admiring yourself. And admiring the courage that you had, first of all, to fall in love with this person, to stay around, to put up with what you did. Again, learn to reconcile with yourself. All these things that you love about this person. You're like, I fought for this person. I was willing to die for this person. I was willing to go do. Yeah, that's all about you. It's not about your relationship with the other person. You want you. How many times have you wanted someone to do the same thing for you, but you're lingering waiting around for somebody else? You got to put yourself first, guys. And by putting yourself first, I'm not talking about in the selfish way. I'm saying letting go of the intensity and stepping back and really taking a look at how beautiful and amazing you are. And how beautiful and amazing the love you brought to this connection was. Because you are the central focus of this story, guys. That's why you came to this message. Because this is about your love. Okay? And you have a lot of it, especially to share for this person. And again, if you're missing them, think about all the things that you appreciate about them. Did they guide you through a traumatic time? Did they show you a new band or new music that you like? Did they show you how to reflect on your issues and suddenly realize, wow, I was wrong? Those are all things to appreciate and admire about this person. Just make sure you're bringing it back to you. We've got, I want to give you my body, all of it. Yeah, some of you guys, you're really devoted to this person. But again, this is that self-sacrificing energy. And you're admiring someone without focusing on what you're giving up for the connection. And to me, it's like, why? That's your love. Your love is self-sacrificing. Is that other person doing that for you? And you're like, but that's what love is about. It's about giving myself up. No. In dire times of need, yes. But y'all are making excuses during non-dire times of need. Giving up your body, that's kind of, that's kind of selfish. Okay? Because that's coming from your ego. And you're like, selfish? I'm giving my body. And it's like, I know. Your body and mind and heart and spirit are all sacred. So treat it well. And treat it with value. Understanding that not only is it your vessel, but it carries so much love inside of it. And that's why it deserves to be protected. And to not give your whole self up to somebody for what? A feeling? Because I understand it's intense, but just because it's intense does not mean it's that kind of a connection. And that's where, like, again, admiration. Admire what you were willing to do for another person that no one did for you. And maybe this person did for you. But it's time. It's time you do that self-reflection back to your heart. How can I move on when my life is blue without you? Yeah. You guys are so blue. And again, like, I'm literally seeing again. Yeah, I'm hearing just like again and again and again. You're ruminating about this person. But again, it's because you're trying to get back to source. You're trying to get back to this. You're trying to recover from the illusion. Because again, you're thinking that it's over here with this person when it's really with you. And I just keep hearing it's not, like, it's real. Like, what you have is real. What you had with this person was real. It was intense. But, like, you're making it all about them, and that's where the mistake is. We've got racing, running, avoiding. Yeah, you're running away from your feelings. Pile number one. And something about, like, feeling trapped. I don't know, was there, like, a runner-chaser dynamic? I want to use those terms loosely, but with racing, I feel like you guys were just, like, racing against time or racing against each other. But, like, it's almost like you were running beside each other but avoiding each other, and then somebody crashed, and then the other person ran away, and they don't want to look back to see if they did okay. Like, again, with, like, a horse, I don't know, I'm hearing, like, a horse rearing. You know, like, again, I'm seeing, like, two wild horses, and one of them falls down, and then the other one's, like, freaking out. So yeah, I think, like, there's just some kind of an energy that's parallel with this person, but again, your heart is kind of just, it's not fully exposed yet. You know, like, I feel like all of that love is kind of, like, protected inside your chest, and it's not being expressed. Interlude, pause, timing factor. Yeah, again, maybe you had to take a break. Maybe there were financial issues. Maybe with this racing energy, again, someone got hurt, so they just were like, nope. But, like, I feel like your person misses you. That's not an illusion. But, like, again, you're feeling it from your head and not your heart space. So you don't actually know what this person feels like because you're not connected to your heart fully. Because if you connected to your heart, then you'd know why there's an interlude. You know? Because they're going through a hard time. And again, I feel like the feelings are mutual, but that might be also what your heart is telling you. And, I mean, blame your heart. Yeah, we got anxiety. Yeah, again, you guys are going through it. Again, you're just scared. This connection maybe gives you anxiety because of how intense it is. You know, and your heart only knows these two energies instead of this. Because your energies are literally saying, hey, illusion, this is what is holding me down. I can only believe in intensity, right? I can't believe that in calm, loving energy. I don't know what life is like without all of this yearning and this gossip and this toil and this channeling and whatever. And that's why we have to wait. Because someone's a little too intense. And that's why you gotta meet each other at the middle. You know? Find the peace beyond ecstasy. Where does this person bring you your peace? Where do you believe this person, like, what do you think this person admires about you? And again, don't make it about the other person, but that reconciliation, like, you have to have that conversation between you and spirit about what are you guiding me to do? And actually follow through with it. You know, because y'all ain't getting any younger. So open up and see what your heart has to say. And let it bloom into whatever that may look like. Because again, this kind of blooming energy isn't about guaranteeing a relationship with this person. That's where I think some of the confusion is too, is like letting your love for someone else bloom in the ways that you need it to. For me, I wrote a book. For other people, it's making music, or doing art, or helping the homeless. Find ways of letting that love bloom and shine in honor of that person, in honor of your connection, whether it's current or from the past. And I think that's how you're going to reconcile things between you and yourself. Because then you're not going to feel so disempowered when you and this person aren't doing well. You know? Just bloom, guys. And I think you're going to feel your love. It'll be an intense, but it's not going to be painful anymore. You're going to let go of this racing and anxiety and finding out the truth of your connection. It's like, it's not going to matter. Because you're just going to feel intensely connected to your true soul. Connection. I don't know, I can't tell if like if I'm channeling your energy and like avoiding this person still, or just avoiding the intensity of just the surrender. You know? I think it's the intensity of the surrender in a connection with another person. I don't know. I'm still doing my work too, guys, so... But anyways, that's your channel messages for today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, comment down below if this resonated with you, and I hope it helped you guys heal and just get to know yourselves a little bit better. I know some of the soul connection stuff is really tricky, and so I appreciate you guys, you know, being open to receiving these messages, and hopefully you got some clarification from Spirit. Anyways, guys, I will see you all next time. Take care. Hello, everyone. You have chosen group number 2. And these are going to be your messages on, do you love this person? Y'all. So I had to, like, pause in between takes, because I'm making some chili right now, and I had to snack, and then I was kind of like, oh, should I even continue recording? Because the food's almost going to be ready. And then when I sat down to try to pull your cards, there were like a lot of cards that wanted to come out, but then I kept like pulling the wrong thing. So I would pull it out and I was like, no, that's not the right one. No, that's not the right one. And I mean, it happened like multiple times, and I was like, okay, this is kind of like weird. And I just got like this icky feeling in my chest that I feel like you guys are like something's wrong. You're not letting your heart speak its truth. And there's something, yeah, there's just something wrong about this connection because I feel like your heart is kind of either shattered or there's something you don't want to tell yourself about what's going on between you and this other person. And I keep feeling you're very reluctant. Maybe you want to break up with this person or break things off. There's something about like you're just feeling really tired and like like there's like an emotional buildup. Oh, I'm like tasting like bile. Yeah, it's almost like maybe you're hurting yourself by holding back this tough secret. And it is hard because like your heart, there's something like twins. I don't know if you're sitting there very convinced that this person's like a twin flame because originally I was like, oh, there's something like intense going on between the two of you, but you're kind of just sitting there being like, yeah, you know, Chris, I'm kind of not feeling this connection anymore. And again, I don't know, like, because I was rubbing my finger, but like normally I feel like this surprise ring here energetically, but I'm feeling like it's like it was almost, or there's just something about like shoulda, woulda, coulda, but they didn't, you know, and now they're out of time, or they didn't show up when they were supposed to, or they're not the person. I don't believe in them anymore, and your heart's just kind of oh, wow, look at that. Twin flame. Twin flames themselves contain an aspect of each other's personality. Yeah, there's something about, like, each other's personality that I think your heart's trying to explain to you. Something about, like, spiritual narcissism. Like, there's kind of this energy of, like, your heart's trying to protect you, but your body and your mind are not in alignment. Um, because it's like I see with like this tree, for example, all the branches are up here, but there's this extra long branch. You know, I feel like this person's down here, and your heart's like, nope, you're not getting access to that. Nope. And I feel like people, like, either you've convinced yourself or surrounded yourself around people that are just like, oh, it's a twin flame relationship. You're supposed to experience these highs and lows. Or, like, you've really thoroughly convinced yourself that because of the spiritual title that maybe a tarot reader told you one time, or what you're seeing on social media, or you just like the concept of there's another half of my being out there somewhere. And again, with twin, um, all right, I'm gonna drop the reason why this group might be experiencing this, but I'll tell you that after we get into the cards. Just something with personality. I think your heart's just saying, personally, I can't accept this. This behavior, this situation, the continual back and forth. There's just something that is keeping you guys so separate, and that's why you can't commit. You don't have commitment issues. You don't have an issue with their being, but they're just not like you. You're on two different spectrums. And I know opposites attract, but that does not mean they're your twin flame, and that does not mean that they're healthy for you. Okay? Um, yeah, we've got health. Health issues could arise. Yeah, like again, like with that bile, I'm literally like, you guys are like hurting yourselves over this. Because you're trying to like push yourself in this twin flame direction to be like, well, I just gotta stick it out a little bit longer, Chris. And I'm like, no, you're hurting yourself. Stop. We've got liar. Be careful of someone sneaky. Yeah, this is like your subconscious. You want this relationship so bad, or at least you did in the past, but now, yeah, it's almost like I see with this tree, like they took everything that they had that was within reach. Like there's some kind of like a sabotage, like maybe this person sabotaged your relationship, or like with flames, yeah, I'm just seeing like they just burned this whole tree down, and anything that's left is what's left of you, but they took the rest. And then they're sitting there just waiting for you to give them the rest. Yeah, and I feel like this person lies to you all the time, or lies about you, or who they are. And your spirit guides are saying, like, be careful with this one, okay? Because, like, I feel like, again, you're so focused on the twin flame label that all of the other spiritual warning signs that said, girl, no. Like, all your friends that said, hey, actually, I don't think this is it. You've seen those signs and warnings for a while. But again, twin flame, twin flame. Again, I will explain after the cards why you're feeling that twin energy. All right, we've got Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, maybe that's significant. maybe they're very an earthly person or earth-based. I could definitely see a little bit of, like, as I said, with spiritual narcissism, this person could be like, oh, I'm like a guru, or like I do tantra, or there's just something about this person that they're very earthy and you feel grounded around them and safe. And maybe they have some psychic abilities too. With Taurus, there's something about like a stubborn unwillingness to let go of this situation and hand it over to spirit. And that's where the narcissism coming in, is because if you were listening to your spirit guides, this person wouldn't have a hold on you the same way that a real twin flame would. And again, like, I just keep hearing narcissism, narcissism. I'm like, you guys are obsessed with that word when you don't really know what it means from a clinical sense, or like you're not recognizing the difference between his ego and her ego. And that's like not gender specific. Okay? Again, with this hand holding, like you're giving him the ball and he's just holding it, playing games with it. You're just giving him all your power, or giving her all your power. And that's where like the liar energy comes in, is you're like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. What have you done to defend yourself against this person? When have you said, actually, no thank you, I'm gonna go take care of myself and be out with my friends tonight? No thank you. Yeah, you've been drained. We got air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, look at this. Polar opposite energies here. Because air signs are all about intellectual, fleeting. Again, it's almost like here's like the sun and the moon. Yeah, there's kind of like that narcissist empath paradigm. But again, I feel like that word has been so oversaturated with this pile that I don't want to even say it. Because, like, again, this is like control and this is release. Again, no wonder you guys are getting confused. It's because your trauma's getting in the way. And again, when it's affecting your health, that's a sign that you need to get out. Okay, when you're feeling sick all the time, if you're noticing you're feeling lightheaded, when you're only doing drugs around this person, when you're drinking around this person, there's all kinds of little tells, and you're like, no, you're lying. Listen, when you start getting anxious about your behaviors to try to keep this person in your life, that's a sign that something's wrong in your subconscious. That if you gotta lie to your friends about still talking about this person, if you gotta lie to yourself about like, oh, but he's my twin flame. No, hun. You make me strong enough to feel weak. I'll cry for you. Yeah, you guys have done a lot of crying over this person because you think it makes you strong. You're like, man, I went through all of this and I'm gonna get my reward at the end. This is your reward. Consequences. And that's just an aspect of them. You got away. You still got your head, you still got your hair, but everything else burned away. And the crying, you think you're crying for this person, you're crying about you. Pile number 2. We've got, I will fight any motherfucker who comes between us. I'm your soldier. Yeah. What you're feeling in your chest is like, you keep saying it's love. I'm going to fight for my love. This person, again, with like the comes between us. You know what I mean? I'm like, who are you fighting? Like, another man... Yeah, it's kind of like, for example, if this guy or girl is cheating and ended up with the person that they cheated with, what makes you think they're not going to do that to you? What makes you think you gotta fight other people for your person? Let them. If they're not coming towards you with honest intentions, if you gotta win their attention, or you gotta be like, I'm your soldier, I'm gonna fight your battles, that's another clear sign that you're out of line and that your heart's saying no. I shouldn't be fighting my person's battles. No way in hell. Especially when, look at what it did to you. It was total war. And you still want to go to war for this person. They're not going to do that for you. Because they're busy lighting you on fire in their own life. And you're like, if I'm just stable, if I'm earthly... No, because guess what? An air sign, when you're around fire, boom, forest fire. All that energy is swirling. It's not your job to tell the air, hey, calm down. No, the air is just going to do what it's going to do. You're not this person's earth. You are your own self's earth, and you're denying it. Because that would mean you'd pay attention to all this other stuff. Because you still want to stay in the clouds because it's easier. Because you think it keeps you safe. I couldn't get any harder if I tried. Yeah. Again, there's some toxic sexuality going on here, and your heart's just deny, 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 because it feels safe and familiar. Yeah, so we've got the Four of Wands in reverse. You've got the Undead, a death card. Yeah, I feel like a death entity or death energy is affecting this situation or this chaos. We've got a Joker card, a blank card, and then the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so what I'm feeling your heart is saying about how you love this person, like, again, there's a Joker energy here, where it's ambiguous. It's narcissistic. Because you want to play victim, you want to tell your story about how this tragic love is what finally pushed you over the edge. And there's something about, like, again, I see like a siren, where it's like the girl who's in trouble on the rocks, and then you're just coming towards this person, and then they're going to take you under. And that's what that death energy is death is trying to save you from this person. Because not all death energies are opposed to life. Okay? If anything, this person sees you as someone coming back from the dead once you get away from this twin flame person. Because they're saying you're so fortunate and so lovable and kind, and you're trying to kind of meet your own demise through somebody else. There's something familiar about this energy. It's kind of like maybe a version of you died in the past, and you're still trying to connect with it, and you're using a relationship to fill the void because it's still part of your self-harm. With the earth sign, there's kind of just like you're trying, like, there's signs that you need to come back down to earth and face reality about this relationship. And if it takes, like, your friends sitting down and having an honest conversation with you, focusing on your money for a bit, understanding that you're not going to fully understand this relationship. In any case, though, you got to be your own champion right now. And I know it hurts, and I know it's hard, but there's something you got to face about this twin flame relationship that's kind of killing your soul right now. All right, so we've reached the end of the cards, so now I get to tell you the big reveal of what I suspect is happening. Again, this is not going to apply to everybody, but I'm saying it because I have this. So I have we'll call it a condition or whatever, but it's called surviving twin syndrome, where essentially I was born genetically combined with my twin. And I had a twin brother. And he didn't show up in the ultrasound, but I definitely know it to be real because I have all the symptoms and I worked on it with my therapist for a while. My sister has a different version of it because her twin actually showed up in the ultrasound when they separated. But in any case, though, I have a lot of thoughts and opinions about this. But the point is oftentimes people that get really addicted to the twin flame narrative is because you're actually looking for your twin, a sibling out there that you may never knew even existed. Okay? And that's why the feelings are very, very intense, and that's why I want to start teaching people about this syndrome, so that way you're not looking for your brother or sister in another person. Now, I am going to tell you that this syndrome, when I started doing the work, it was very, very hard. Because it's basically realizing, oh, the other half of my soul, that person, I will never get to experience that person in my lifetime. And that was one of the hardest griefs I've ever had to face. Out of all of the horrible things that have happened in my life. And so it's important for me to continue to do that work, to heal that wound, so that way other people that I'm projecting onto don't have access to versions of me that they're not supposed to. Just because something inside of me is recognizing that twin. Because no doubt this person probably subconsciously reminds you of that person, even though you've never met them. And that's what's kind of crazy about the whole syndrome, is like, if you learn anything about twins, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. And notice a lot of synchronicities, too, align with it, especially if you see 222 or 22. That's usually about twins, duality, polarity, all those things. Yeah, but to me, I'm getting the vibe it's surviving twin syndrome. That's why you want to get dragged. That's why you want to get dragged down to death, so that way you can be with your twin through somebody else. It's like a weird subconscious pull. But yeah, but there's ways to heal it. I do recommend working with a therapist that is familiar with the syndrome. I'm gonna have links on my blog below about my personal experiences and where you can find some resources to learn about it. But definitely, again, if that's not something that resonates with you, because you can also be a triplet. There's quadruplets and whatever. That also is a thing. But with Earth sign, again, number one recommendation: please get grounded and ground the love that you have about this person, so that way it's not coming from fantasy, and bring it back down to earth. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to be able to fill out and heal until this person's away, because they're not safe for your energy. This person is destructive, and again, you come up with every excuse in the book, but like, the whole reason you're connected to them is it's not about you. It's really not. And you're trying to insert yourself into other people's stories because of some misinformation or just bad information. Yeah, I'm feeling it's just bad information. Because again, there's nothing wrong with the twin flame journey and the label, and there's a lot of legit people going on that, but this pile, this ain't it. Okay? I'm just saying, this ain't it. Don't use spiritual lingo to overlook a bad relationship, okay? Anyway, send you guys a whole lot of love. I know how difficult this frequency is, and there's just a lot of grief and a lot of hope that I hope that you guys are able to connect to, so that way you can heal. Because it is a deep wound in your heart, but again, you can get through it, and the less you externalize, the more grateful you'll be for your own human experience, and not needing to connect and integrate to other people like you would your sibling. But yeah, check it out. Super fascinating. I'll probably talk about it at some point whenever I get other stuff going. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Take care. Check on the chili. Check on the chili. Hello everyone, welcome to Mindovermania. My name is Chris. Wow. Hello everyone, you have chosen group number 3, and these are going to be your messages on, do you actually love this person? So this reading was definitely tumultuous, because I was thinking of pausing the reading and recording, going and eating and taking care of myself a little bit, and then I was like, no, you gotta get this done real fast, just get it all in one take or whatever. And then I sat there and said, okay, but you need to make sure you eat. So I paused, ate a little snacky snack, and then I started the reading. So there's something about this person that reminds you to take care of yourself. But even still though, like when I was trying to pull cards, it was kind of like all over the place. So maybe, I can't tell if you're chaotic or maybe this relationship's chaotic. It's kind of like, maybe they're nice sometimes, but then other times it's just like, they're completely gone. Again, I'm kind of hearing like the whole twin flamey thing, which doesn't feel accurate in this case, but yeah, there's something mystical and magical that I think you may be projecting onto this person. Yeah, only take what resonates, but if that didn't sound like your situation, feel free to check out another pile, or this may not be the video for you. Let's go ahead and get into the cards. So we got telepathy, close soul connections, harmoniously synchronized, reenactive telepathic moments. Yeah, so what's kind of interesting is I feel like you guys right now, group number 3, you're cut off from telepathic moments with this person. Okay, so maybe you've been feeling or thinking about them. That's not telepathy. Okay, I feel like maybe you. This kind of feels intentional that you're blocking off the telepathy, but it kind of creates like a buildup in your psyche or in your head. And so something about like close soul connections, like only certain frequencies are allowed to get into your space. Okay. And I think like you're trying to preserve your peace right now, but there's this big looming energy of like, does she have feelings for me? Does he have feelings for me? And it's kind of just very like, I feel like you guys are a little scared. All right, you're scared of this person. You feel like you don't have the right boundaries to protect yourself, so you're just kind of like closed off. Or oh yeah, that's what I was hearing earlier too. Swept away. So again, maybe you guys have some trauma in your past with relationships where it's like you don't even try to push for closure. You just flee. You're just like no, 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 no. I don't sit and work through these things. Again, there's something about the scenario where I'm like, it's not like anxious avoidant attachment style because like that's so thrown around and glamorized, but there's kind of this energy of like you're going on your own journey and you're having a hard time facing your own shadow aspects because the idea of loving someone else truthfully is very very hard. And that's why you're kind of just like maybe you've never loved somebody before this way or there's something new about this experience that's just frightening to you. And so again, I don't know if this is a feminine or a masculine energy, but it definitely is feeling more feminine. And so, but I feel like your heart's telling you that this person's along your path. I'm hearing like it's on my path for a reason. Okay. And the synchronicities, like you can't ignore those. Okay. Like there's something about this person that, I don't know, maybe you're like afraid they're doing witchcraft on you because you're like, there is no way in hell I could be this in tune with somebody. Like, what did they do to me? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just hearing, like, were they doing, like, love spells on me? Were they, like, whatever? And their spirit's like, no. But there was some telepathy going on. I feel like that's why you're just so in tune with them. And I think it just frightened you both. I do think that's a little bit mutual. We've got scorned. Oh my gosh. Who is this person? um, yeah, your heart, like, I get you love this person, but you're just seeing the back, like the ass of this person. Did they like fucking? Did you do something, group number 3? I don't know. There's just this energy of like, damn, like she really did that, and she does not care about me. Yeah. Again, I feel like I don't want to say you're the masculine. You could be a feminine too, but like definitely, I feel like this is about a fiery woman. And you're just like, oh my god. Like at first, it was hot seeing her with a shotgun until she pointed it at you, right? And so now you're just looking at this whole like you're feeling kind of cold or scorned by this person. You're kind of like telepathically something's telling you different about who they are, but your heart's like I feel like I was scorned. I feel like this person doesn't trust me at all, doesn't want me. Like, what do you mean I'm the bad guy? Why am I the villain here? We've got numbing. Yeah, so some of you guys are numbing out. Maybe you're working out. I'm hearing the word cancer. Maybe that's your water sign or something. But there's something about like you're just like you're biding time. Your heart's trying to like wait through this situation because you're like, damn, like she really did me wrong. Healing. Yeah, that's another thing with this person. Your heart wants to heal this connection. Okay, with telepathy, it's kind of like you know something's off with this person in this situation. Again, because it's like she'd be talking to you, but she's not talking to you. She's showing her your ass. And to me, I'm kind of like, that's a little harsh. I don't think she's intentionally showing you her ass. Maybe to some of you, but like, I feel like I think the fact that you're assuming that she's going scorched earth with you, because she could be, but I just have a feeling you're kind of projecting an illusion onto this person when you don't fully know them. That's why, like, this scorned energy, you're kind of like, you got really triggered bad by this person, but I don't think this person really intended to, like, I don't know, I just see this little cute tree thing that it's like, yeah, maybe they seem big, tough, and scary, but they probably got a nice heart. And maybe that's why they're upset, is they're trying to protect their own heart. They've got free will. Yeah, maybe you guys don't understand that other people have free will, and that, like, just because you're big and tough doesn't mean someone's gonna want you, or that they're not big and tough. And there's something about, like, you kind of feel like maybe, like, girls with guns, you just think they're kind of like, oh yeah, they're little princess. Oh man, are some of y'all from Texas? I don't know. There's kind of this energy of, like, I think you guys just assume that if you see a woman with a gun, that they're just trying to, like, show off for their boyfriends. There's, like, this dismissive energy towards, like, women that do masculine things because you think it's like, oh, tee hee hee, they're just trying to, like, fight us or whatever, and you don't take it seriously. That's probably why this woman got scorned, is because, oh yeah, you're sitting there being like, oh, she's jealous, like she wants to have a dick or something like that, and it's like, no. Like, the idea that you can't comprehend that women did used to fight and do it all the time. It's just that it's a lot wiser to not fight somebody than get shot over something stupid like produce. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of stuff that I think you don't really get strong women because you're not around women like this, because they're not very common. But again, you're more focused on the flames instead of the fact that she's walking through them and is unscathed, you know? Yeah, victim. Yeah, your heart feels like you were the victim. And you feel trapped. And so then you're projecting it onto this person that they're being a victim. Or they have a victim complex. That's why they're burning everything to the ground. When telepathically, to me, like, your heart's telling you, like, she trusts you. That's what I'm hearing. It's like with this, like, rope tying or maybe she's into BDSM. I don't know. I don't know what kind of girl you were with, but, like, I see her, like, grabbing onto these ropes. Yeah, I just really feel like you guys misunderstood this person, and that's why you're like, the love you have for this person is healing your energy, because you're not fully aware of why this person left, why this person hurt you, why there's something about it, you're not getting it, and you're not getting it because you're not in touch with your heart, because your heart and your head, like, you're numbing to try to deal with the pain, when it's like, well, why do you need to numb in the first place? If you were actually feeling what you felt, then you wouldn't need to numb something. I know emotions are big and scary, but, like, shit, guys, like, this is telling me you just want to misunderstand this person because you want to be right and you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to be like, I hurt that person. Ouch. Yeah, that was, ooh. We've got warning. Yeah, maybe this person gave you a warning shot and walked away. There's something with this person, they ain't playing. Again, like, there's something about, like, you think, yeah, there's something about, like, you just think, like, the girls with the guns or lady cops or whatever, they just think, you're just trying to be men, you're not dangerous, whatever. And I'm like, bro, like, have you been manipulated by women in the past and used? There's something about, like, territory, like, maybe you're just a little bit more of an old school masculine, but you have no idea, like, how you've been played. Bro. And that's why, like, with close soul connections, like, you're not gonna hear people telling you that, because this kind of ignorance is what attracts whatever. And I feel like the scorned person probably was like, oh, I thought you actually were, like, that tough person that you said, and they're kind of disappointed. Again, this is supposed to be about your love for this person, and, like, that's why, like, with free will, like, you're so focused on your own free will, or free will is more important to you than the relationship. So there she went. You want to do whatever you want, fine. But that's not what your heart's saying. That's why you're upset this person left. And to me, I think there's, like, an emotional detachment to free will, because free will doesn't mean free from consequences. If you don't want a person like this, then don't go for them. But that's not what your heart's saying. And if anything, there's something about, like, you feel bad for them. And there's something about like what would cause like something about what would treat a person this way. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm like, you're focused on you, which is fair, but like to me, I'm like, well, what would cause a person to do that? What do you think? What would cause you to do that? An explosion? You'd be like, I would destroy everything. Are you sure? And you're like, yeah. Stagnant. Yeah. Maybe you guys didn't grow up. There's this energy of like you hate the fact that with this connection, you're not going anywhere. You feel like this person shuts you out, covered your mouth. I can't speak my truth. What was your truth? What were you going to say? Did it matter? And you're like, did it matter? And you were like, it does. So why didn't you say it? Do you love this person? Because it kind of sounds like you do. But again, you closed off to that because free will. You don't want to be tied down. You don't want trouble. You don't want to have to deal with wrangling a woman in or talking to somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about when it's like, this person clearly does. I don't know, maybe, did you try like bagging someone from the military or somebody who worked with law enforcement or like, I don't know, there's just something about like, you got played, pile number 3, and it's a little annoying. Maybe you're annoyed, but I'm annoyed, especially because I'm like, what the, like, come on. Like, this person, again, I get the vibe this person cared about you, so they feel like they're not walking away for no reason. Like, and maybe you're numbing yourself out for that reason. Oh, twin flame. Why is that showing up in every single reading? Yeah. Y'all could be twin flames. There's a lot of fire energy. We've got fire and earth. A little bit of water here. Yeah, there's water there. Yeah, there's something about, like, you love this person. Like, you're really fucking passionate about this person. But, like, I feel like this whole free will thing isn't what it's cut out to be, is it? And your ego defends it, but, like, you wouldn't be numbing yourself out if you actually enjoyed your life the way it is. You know? That's just what I'm supposed to do, is it? Is that just because that's what your daddy did? Grandpa did? You got a shot at a better life. And if you got someone who's willing to fight for you, I mean, like, shit, like, who wouldn't want a person like that on their side? But you screwed it up. And I think you're kind of realizing it now. Damn. But you're like, I don't know what I did. Victim. Quit acting like a victim and own what you're responsible for. Let them talk, it means they say your name more. Did you try to piss this person off to get them to talk to you? Oh no! Maybe they want to hear your name. No, that's your energy. Yep. You guys keep your shit really close to your chest. Like, okay, here's the thing. I know you don't want to tell your bros. I know you don't want to tell your friends. I don't know how it is you guys handle this, but there's definitely this energy of like, you want to talk about this person, but you don't want to be the person to bring it up. You want someone else to bring it up. So then you could talk about it and say your opinion. But then you sit there and then no one's talking about them. And I just see you like at your desk being like, shit! And then everyone's like, what's wrong? And you're like, ah! And then you like walk away, and then everyone's like, okay, hormonal. Yeah, that's another thing. When I pull cards for this pile, y'all are dramatic. Okay, this pile is dramatic as hell. Like, I see like with this dude with like the hand and his tattoos or whatever. Like, are you a model or something? Do you just sit there and be like, ugh. I like having like my angsty poses, post them on Facebook. I can't share it with the whole world though, just only the people who know me. I'm not making fun of, I mean, I'm making fun of you guys, but I'm making fun of myself because I do this. So I totally get it, because you're just like, no. She can't see me because she doesn't follow me, she doesn't have access. But I know how she feels. And you're like, I don't know how she feels. Yeah, you do. Your heart knows. No, no. Let it happen, please God, let us happen. Yeah, so that's calling y'all out there, my brothers, my dudes, my in-betweens. Yeah, your heart needs some healing. Especially with this numbing out. Like, stop trying to I don't know, I hear something about tryouts. Are you guys trying out to be like an athlete or something? Or trying out for like a band or trying out for like a new job or something. Um, yeah, I feel like maybe you guys are trying to get in touch with your spirituality, but this healing work, like, you're doing this the wrong way. Whatever you're doing, like, again, maybe you're trying to show up to church more. Um, someone's snorting or laughing, like, how did you know? It's like, yeah, because there's not very many outlets that are socially acceptable for men to have access to their spiritual gifts and can actually get to those emotional spaces without some other weird ayahuasca shit going on. And again, if you do ayahuasca, that's fine. It's just that there's something about this pile that really is either curious about what I'm talking about or just with this scorned woman. They're like, hey, you seem like an angry person. Could you help me figure this girl out? Which I'll be like, I'll try. I don't know. To me, I'm just seeing like those girls' feet. Like, you just gotta put the flames out for a little bit or show that you can. Um, okay, so I'm rambling now and I want to get to my chili, but I'm gonna part ways with you guys with one final story, okay? And I think this will help you understand a little bit about what this lady's going on. So there's this goddess in Hindu mythology, and her name is Kali, or Kali Ma, right? We got an image of her. All right, and she's a warrior goddess. She's one of the most fierce Hindu deities out there. And what had happened was she was known for fighting demons, and she was slaying thousands upon thousands of demons, and so she became legendary. What had happened though was as a result of her like drinking too much blood of her enemies and the evilness, she became so enraged by the amount of evil that was allowed to exist in the world that she went on a rampage and she started to kill everybody. She basically was like this poison after being exposed to all of this was just seeping inside of her, and she was just killing humans and deities everywhere. So finally, the god Shiva, which would technically be her father, I believe. Um Shiva, he's the god of destruction. Okay, and one of like the main three forces in the universe according to Hindu mythology. Shiva was able to stop Kali by going underneath her feet. And she stopped because when she was going on her rampage, when she was stamping her feet, she didn't want to hurt this person that she loved. And immediately she was like, oh no, I can't hurt. I can't hurt my dad. And so then she stopped raging because of that connection. And, you know, there's a lot of angry women out there right now. And it's justifiable, right? When you actually start listening to what's been going on, okay? Because some of you guys, maybe you know, maybe you don't. But if you're trying to attract a person that's got Kali energy, you have to prove to her that you are comfortable enough laying yourself down to show where your soft spots are and that you can understand and handle what her rage means, but also be able to hold a space to say, hey, I see you as a person still. And I know that you don't want to hurt everybody. And I know that you don't want to hurt me. And not coming from a place of condescension, right? Because notice he didn't come in dad mode and try to be like control. He just said, hey, I'm down here. And she went, oh, I'm not going to hurt this person. And that brought her back to herself. Okay? And so that's where you're going to need to work on this telepathy thing in your heart space, because your heart is going to give you the strength to know that she's not going to hurt you in those ways when you lay down for her. Okay? You gotta show her you're capable of emotion. You gotta show her that you're bothered by this. Like, I'm sorry. Like, do you know how many dudes? It's like the most frustrating thing. Like, when men can't show that they care, so then you just believe that they don't anymore. And I'm sorry, that's a wound, but it's a very real wound that is happening to a lot of people right now. And maybe you've never had someone that could actually articulate it in a respectful way. Because again, like trauma's trauma. Like, this is not denying what women have done to men. Like, that's a whole thing. And if you watch my tarot readings for the ladies, you'll see you'll see me doing that. I don't care. Everybody gets a diss from me. But the point is, though, it's always supposed to lead you back to love. Right? And again, if you feel closely and bonded to this person, then you need to let them know, at least for your sake. But you have to do it in a way that shows humility, kindness, and caring. And you just gotta drop your mask. Again, I think that's something that most people don't want to expose, but I think you owe it to yourself to be the kind of person that's strong enough to say, hey, I can be vulnerable, and if this person reacts in a way that hurts me, then that's my no, that this person doesn't love me back. Because someone that's worth a yes, they're gonna calm down, or she's gonna calm down. Okay? And again, I don't get the vibe from this pile that you show your emotions very lightly, so I think this person will take you seriously. Yeah, because at first I was like, oh, is this one of those guys that maybe like cries a lot? No, I don't feel like y'all have that energy. So yeah. Anyways, though, good luck, guys. Appreciate you stopping by, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my blog. Because I do want to try to get more male representation in the New Age spiritual movement that's not based in all the Kabbalah stuff, because that's not my wheelhouse. Basically, I'd like some more spiritual masculine representation in terms of like intuition and how to process emotions and things like that. I think it's really important in our society right now. So yeah. Anyways, y'all, I will see you all next time. Take care. Oh, hey y'all. Sorry, I almost forgot. So for this pile, I actually had another card hidden underneath it. And challenge was the card that came out. Okay, and it says all true soul connections involve challenges that can be overcome together. Wow, that's kind of crazy, because notice with these cards, we have like a pink tree, and then it's kind of like after overcoming the challenge, look at all the growth that happens here, and like all the other trees. And there's another person there waiting for them. Because yeah, see, you planted a seed, and it's going to have a great legacy to come. Yeah, and again, you're overcoming these things together. Right? Because men and women, as much as we hate each other sometimes, we also deep down love each other at the end of the day. And again, you can get into like being queer and stuff like that. That doesn't mean love doesn't exist. Okay? Just not your definition. And yeah, if you really miss her, go after her. And just trust in that little space inside of you. And make sure that you're listening to that space inside of you, because I think you guys know that something's up with this one. And that's why it's going to feel a little bit different. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, everyone. You have chosen group number 4, and these are going to be your messages on how do you, like, do you love this person? So already off the bat, I can feel like this is the pile where there's the most deviation, simply because this is a general collective message, and so there's gonna be a lot of different people picking this pile. for these specific messages. But what I was feeling is there's something about like this pile. What's going on between you and this person is there's kind of like this is just a person that's on your journey. And I think you're trying to be like, is this my spouse or not? Is this my wife? Is this my husband? Um, you're kind of like pulling the trigger because you keep being like, is this the right one? It's like I'm seeing you flipping through your chapter book waiting to get to the marriage part instead of like living your life. With oracle cards, I'm feeling like something about like you really rely on tarot readers or someone who can see the future better than you in order to make decisions, which while that's fine and it could be related to your culture, at the same time also your spirit guide team saying, "Hey, you shouldn't be making your decisions this way because you're missing out on the beautiful life around you. You're missing out on the beautiful relationship you could be building with yourself and others that will lead you to your person." Okay? And I know maybe you're tired of hearing that either from myself or other readers, but like there's something about like there's something about what you're interested in that matters to why you keep asking about your person. Okay? Like what would you achieve by loving this person that you can't achieve by yourself? And I don't think you've questioned that. All right, let's go ahead and check out your cards. We've got moment. Think of a special moment that brought you and your partner a lot of joy. Yeah, so I'm feeling like this is all about like being present in the moment. Again, you're focused on, well, I gotta go get over there, but I'm too tired, so I gotta sit and rest under the tree. And you're like, come on, rest harder. And it's like, no. See how silly that sounds? Be like, oh, we gotta get over to that tree. It's hot out. You don't have to run. What do you need to get over there so fast? I'm feeling anxious because no one's gonna love me. Is that true? You want to really miss the sunset because you want to hurry up over there? Why don't you want it to be a surprise? There's something about like a lot of joy is coming towards you when you start slowing down and start asking the right questions. Okay? Like the love you have is precious and worthy of like finding a partner or partnership, you know, because here's the thing too is like again for some of y'all only take what resonates, but some of y'all the love of your life is not going to be with your spouse. It's going to be with your friends or it's going to be with someone you're doing business with. You know what I mean? Like I could literally see you guys literally being like, "Hey, we started a project together." And then you become lifelong friends and co-creators and things. And maybe you never get married, maybe it never turns sexual, but that relationship's just so important for helping you reminding yourself of who you are. Isn't that beautiful? And you're like, yeah, I guess that is. But I want a husband. Why? What are the things that your relationship with this person that you're thinking of allows you to do that you can't do? And you're like, well, money. And I'm like, are you sure? Because it seems like you guys are pretty capable of making it yourself. And why don't you want to do it by yourself? And I'm hearing like, well, culturally speaking, I can't. Or can I? Right? You just gotta learn how to play the game in your culture, man. Like, I'm sitting there saying, like, yes, you know, different cultures and societies have different limitations. I'm not saying that. However, women have been learning how to play the game since the dawn of time. Okay? And so what I'm saying is, when you take time to understand that you are worthy of love, everything else is going to fall back into place. Because then you're going to see, oh, that man over there, oh my gosh, I was pining over him for years and I realized he does not know how to make money. He just dressed really nice. And then when I talked to his sister and found out that he just creates chaos with everything he touches, and his mom is still washing his underwear at 35, that's a no. Right? It's things like that where it's like you gotta listen to your heart to chill it and calm down. Because that, again, like, the love of being in the present is missing. Because I can tell you right now, because you're speeding through life, and you want that ring so badly, you're missing out on love that could actually be had with this person. And enjoy the experience. You know? Because, like, I think, too, like, when you slow down, that's also when you get to see the little moments of your relationship progress. It's kind of like that the first time they make you laugh and then you realize you were in love with them. Or the first time they smiled when you said something. Did those things even happen? Let's go ahead and get to the other cards. We got intuition. The red flags you ignore now will come back to bite you later. Yeah, that's what I was saying with this person. Like, again, we've got multiple different groups here, but the whole journey is what is super. That's what Spirit is trying to say. Is that's going to be super crucial to guiding you to your spouse and guiding you to this person that you love. Because again, this could also be bringing you back to yourself. This could literally be bringing you back to a sibling or a family member. Okay? And there's just something about red flags that, like, you're not catching your own red flags. And you think that by red flags, you're like, oh, I'm this toxic person now. No. No. We're just saying, hey, red means stop. It doesn't necessarily mean evil. Okay? Like, don't get it twisted. We've got patience. In just a few more months, good things come to those who wait. Yeah, look at that. All of this, like, again, I don't look at these cards before selecting them. I can show y'all the unedited film of me just sitting here pulling cards and not looking and whatever, but, like, yeah, something about just patience and slowing down is gonna make you enjoy falling in love with them even more. Okay? Because, like I said, thinking about, like, if you're always thinking about, like, what are you cooking tomorrow? Instead of taking the moment to pause and look at your partner's eyes and be like, do I feel it? Do I want to be making this meal 1,000 times and looking over and seeing in their eyes that, yeah, I'm so glad they're here? Think of the good things. And it's going to make it a lot more apparent when the good things are gone and you don't have that with this person. Right? And again, you're like, what good things? Some of y'all, you freak out and worry versus other people, you can actually do this exercise. For the people that are freaked out and worried, do you got enough money to feed yourself, to pay your bills? Maybe, maybe not. But you don't need to get married to have that fixed. Again, find your independence. And you're going to bring yourself a lot more joy when you liberate yourself from these paradigms. Because again, you want to be with someone who loves you back. And there's no sense in you putting yourself in a situation that could get you hurt. Or, you could be, like, married to somebody and then find the person that Spirit had meant for you years down the road. And then you're going to be in a totally different situation. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, when you remember what's special to you and what's important to you, it will make it so much more clear who's available for you. Honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. Yeah, again, you want the honeymoon, you want the marriage, you want the wedding, you want the party. Throw yourself a party, dang it. Okay, this is something that I would occasionally do with my friends, and I want to do it again soon. But throw yourself a tea party. A really nice fancy tea party with all your friends. Or celebrate having family that's alive. That's something that I really wish more cultures did, or at least here in the US, that's where I'm from. But, like, if we could just find occasions just to celebrate being alive, that we made it through another year. I know, like, a lot of traditional holidays are meant for that, but we need to do it spontaneously, guys. There's, like, so much going on. I mean, like, we had a pandemic. There's never a reason to not celebrate being alive. Okay? There's never a reason to not celebrate having family and friends around you at any given time. Because you never know when you're going to miss out on a memory and you wish you were fully present for. Okay? And it's like, again, I know you want to make your parents proud, you want to make your grandma proud, you want to make everybody proud, but, like, bring yourself back so you can have a piece of your own life for a change. And it doesn't have to be tied to another person. And just remember the power that you have. And it doesn't need to be financial. It doesn't need to be spiritual. Your goals and your ability to be you is enough to deserve this present moment right now. Deep breath in and out. Feeling better already? I know. It's like I'm a professional. You blow my mind. Can you blow something else too? Yeah. Some of y'all, you're just horny. Okay? And like, I'm feeling with my heart like you want to give yourself to somebody, which that's fine. But you want to be like blown away by your person. I think you're like anticipating, like, I kind of see like a schoolgirl being like, okay, yeah, like that really like burst of energy that you get from this person. And when you fall deeply in love with someone, it's not necessarily going to feel like that. I mean, I can only speak from my limited experience, but when I knew I was really in love with somebody, I felt peace. I was just like, oh, thank God. I barely know you, but I want to just like go take a nap. Literally right nearby wherever the fuck you're working. Don't look at me. Just let me nap because I just feel so safe. I know that's a little dramatic, but like again, you're kind of used to a Hollywood movie version of what love is. And I think you should just let your love story with your person be, I was gonna say not mysterious, but like unique to you. Because I think there'd be a lot of joy from that, you know? Yeah, make your story your story. It's hard to say I'm sorry when I'm so in love with you. You didn't deserve the sadness. Yeah, maybe you had to let somebody go and you're like beating yourself thinking, oh, maybe I should go back to that person. Maybe I should. No, 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 no. 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 If spirit wants to bring that person back around into your life, they'll do it. That's where the trust comes in. That's where like being in the present moment. It's like, I'm sorry, you're sitting there stressing about whatever. And then all of a sudden, you smell barbecue. You smell a wood fire. Or all of a sudden the AC kicks in and you're chilled. And you're like, okay. Or man, I finally had that favorite meal. Suddenly it becomes a little less pressing, right? So again, stop apologizing. Stop beating yourself up or thinking there's something wrong with you because you don't have a partner yet or whatever. Again, you don't deserve this sadness. Your spirit guide team is literally saying like the love you have inside of your heart could go to so many other things while we're preparing what's meant for you. Because here's the thing with spirituality, right? Any spiritual person that tries to guarantee you 110% that something's going to happen that can't be accurately predicted, anytime that a spiritual person tries to tell you that something is 110% going to happen, I don't want to say they're lying to you, but what I am telling you is that really isn't a message from spirit. Because spirit is always open to change. And I know that's super frustrating for a lot of you because you want that definite answer, but that's also what part of you giving your energy and autonomy away is. That takes you out of life, of creating and building it yourself. And the sadness that you have, that you want that guarantee to be chosen, choose you. Choose the love that you have in your life right now. And I know it's not going to be what you want. And I know you've been crying. Like, I literally was channeling it. I was just like, oh my gosh, this person's crying so much. But it's like, your spirit guide team's literally saying, there's still love available for you. I'm sorry it wasn't with him. I'm sorry it wasn't with her. But, like, are you going to discount all these other people around you? Are you going to really discount the surprises I have for you in the future? I can't show it to you when you're not looking for it. Like, let spirit show you what love you deserve. Okay? And don't make it about your partner. Okay? Focus on what makes you feel good in the movement or moment. That's exactly what I was saying is like, move your body, get active a little bit, shake things off, dance for a little bit. Even if it's a little dancing, if you can't fully move. But like specifically, like I said, within the moment, if you get that same feeling of being like, oh, thank God you're here, or oh my gosh, you remind me of what it's like smoking a cigar on a summer's day, right? Like, that's the vibe you want, because that's the person you want to marry, because guess what? As much as it would be nice having really great sex and romantic things, a lot of marriage is literally like thousands of vacations, meals, hospital trips, doing taxes. There's so many mundane things. And you gotta find someone that is, gonna be there with you during the mundane, the surprising, the happy, the bad. That if that's what you want, then you gotta start looking at the mundane things. And then see who would fit in best there. Again, that's just gonna help you figure out if you love this person. Because again, there's too many different energies here. Wow. Your love sends me to the moon and back. Yeah. Aww. Yeah. Like, that's the kind of love you guys have. For the moment. At the moment. Maybe for this person. But there's something about, like, the moon and back. It's like, okay, I know you're on the moon right now. Maybe you're like, oh my gosh, this is the person I'm gonna marry. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Come back down to earth. Have some patience, and then check in. Because you shouldn't need to be sitting on the moon when your marriage is supposed to take place here on Earth, okay? Like, unless you're marrying Marvin the Martian, or Thor, or somebody, the Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know who the heck else is out there in space, but like, Space Ghost, like, you gotta live your life on Earth, too. Because you don't want to be only in honeymoon phase and then crash after. We've got judgmental, secondary, interlude, and family. Yeah, this is all just confirmation of what I was talking about. Like, putting yourself secondary isn't going to guide you to the right person. It can guide you to somebody, but it's not going to be your person. Because it can't be your person if you're not here. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. You're not going to attract your person when you're not there to receive them. If you spent your whole life as a half-ass version of yourself and someone else's DMs, how are you going to know that this person's for you when you're not there to know the difference? You need all of you, right? You're like, I only need some of you. Is that what you want? Is that what Miss I want to go to the love and the moon? Yeah. Love sending me to the moon. And it's like, I think you just got to apologize to yourself. Because it's like, this energy, it's a little childish. I get it. We all want the fantasy and the fairy tale. But it's okay to want to be a little childish with your love, because that's what's playful about it. That's what's fun. It's just the difference between childlike and childish. Okay? And again, you guys seem really awesome and nice and grounded. I think it's just like, there's just so much internal turmoil. Because this is a very important decision. And the fact that you're nervous is good. Because you shouldn't be making these decisions willy-nilly. Oh. Okay, well that's interesting. There were some songs that were snuck into my my deck. So yeah, okay, well first of all, we have the situation changed again, keep up and don't stick to old stories. Yeah, so for some of you, maybe you've been really tracking a person for a long time. Situation changed again, don't keep going to tarot readers. Okay? Like, that's just the overarching enemy, or I was about to say enemy. There's something about this pile that you need to stop sticking to old stories. I know a tarot reader told you something in the past. It does not matter, because the future can change, especially because you've been doing the work. You know, with Interlude, give yourself a timeout from your spiritual journey, because you deserve a break. You've been working very hard. Give yourself a break from looking for people and enjoy a moment. And who knows, maybe they're going to slide in your DMs when you do. I'm just saying. You're like, is that a guarantee? And I'm like, no! No guarantees. That's not... You're not paying for this reading, okay? And even if you were, I'm not going to tell you that, okay? Because that would be disingenuous. Okay, so we've got a song called Duermete by As Tall as Lions. It's like a slower song. It says, I'm on fire tonight. I will be alright. I will be just fine. Gray sky come fallen, but I know that better days will come. Yeah. This is kind of just like making peace with the fact that I'm going to be okay if I got a person or not. because I got me and I got this moment. Yeah, I think it's just like falling in love with everyday life, because I get it. You can be stressed about your job and money and kids and all this other stuff, but like, try to make your life a honeymoon. You can make it work. Because here's the thing, if you had like your man right now, or your girlfriend right now, what would you be doing when everything's chaotic? Would they just like wipe your tears off and say, okay, hey, you know what? I know we can't do anything about our financial situation, but you know what? We're going to go outside and we're going to watch the thunderstorm together, right? And we're going to drink some hot coffee, sip some tea, and just wait the storm out together. Even if you got to do that by yourself, even if you got to do it with a ghost. But take a chill. Divine timing's on your side, y'all. Y'all don't even know. I never should have let you go. So what's the point in waking up when everything around me is falling? I'm stuck inside my head and can't get out. Can you hear me now? It's a song called Stuck Inside My Head by The Graduate. Yeah, again, I think you guys are like, oh my gosh, did they get away? Is he the one that got away? For most of you, no. Absolutely not. And for like the 0.002% chance that your person is coming back, just enjoy the moment. Let them figure their own shit out. Again, if they're meant to come back, then they will. Wow, my alarm went off. Talk about divine timing. And then finally, we've got ancestor, paternal, and older than 3 generations. Yeah, I do feel like you're just going to be channeling some messages from your ancestors. And they're going to be letting you know who is right for you. Honor them. Honor your family and the legacy that was left before you. Because I think then you're going to start understanding why you're attracting what you are. And yeah, I don't know. Just breathe easy, guys. You're going to be okay. All right? Just do a lot of breathing. Get a massage. Go hang out with a friend. Tell someone they're special. And brush your hair. And yeah, just use your intuition, guys. Intuition, like a tarot reader can only tell you so much. Okay? But at the end of the day, it's up to you and your discernment to decide what's best for you. Because I've even seen it. I've had it, and I've even channeled inaccurate things at times. Because I'm a human. And it wasn't because I didn't hear something wrong. It was because it was a lesson for me and the client. Did they know what was for them or not? And I always do that in my sessions too. So like if you ever end up purchasing a reading from me, just saying, if something's not resonating with you, I want you to pause the reading and we'll readjust. Because again, if I'm channeling like chaotic energy and stuff like that, yeah, I can pick up on multiple different energy frequencies. I totally am open to people saying, hey, this doesn't feel right. And I'll be like, okay. And then, you know, I don't want to give any guarantees about what your reading would be like, but, you know, I'm just saying that, like, you got to know yourself well enough to know when someone's scamming you. And also, even if it's not a scam, you got to know what's meant for you. Because, like, I've channeled stuff that I'm like, I have no idea if this is relevant to you or not. And usually, 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh yeah, it definitely was. And I'm like, okay, I'm just trusting that whatever weird-ass thing comes out of my mouth, that's what Spirit wants you to hear right now. Okay, and everybody's different, but, like, your love, when that's guiding you through your life, you're just going to be so much more fulfilled every single day. And just please don't take your current life for granted, guys, okay? Life is so fragile and fleeting, and I want you guys to experience love to its fullest capacity with every breath that you take, okay? Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, and share this reading if you enjoyed it. Yeah, show some people some love. Show your friends and family. And then also, if you're interested in booking a reading with me, links are in the description down below. And yeah, check out my blog as well. I've got topics about how to tap into your intuition, relationship advice, all that good stuff. Yeah, come hang out, join the team. Anyways, see you all next time. Take care.